All these years, I've been looking at him like he's a rat anyway.
New footage just surfaced of Black Sam confronting Big U and Snoop Dogg, and it's got the streets buzzing. For people who already believe Big U orchestrated moves against Nipsey, this clip feels like confirmation. The louder question is why Snoop's name is now in the mix, and whether the alliances around him tell a deeper story. Let's walk through what's known, what's rumored, and why Black Sam keeps pressing anyone he thinks is playing with his brother's legacy. Start with the foundation. Nipsey Hussle's 2019 murder didn't just take a visionary from Crenshaw, it tore the mask off long-running tensions, neighborhood politics, old business, and the kind of love that turns to silence when it counts.
Black Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary.
Samuel Asghedom, Black Sam, was never just the grieving relative at the podium. Long before victory lap, he was the protector at Nip's side, the one who handled pressure, watched the accounts, and enforced the code around marathon clothing. When people test that line, Sam pushes back. A recent example landed on March 1st, 2025, at the grand opening of Marathon Burger in Los Angeles. Viral video shows Sam nose-to-nose with rapper Rockstar 2800, an alleged West BVD crip telling him to get it cracking, street shorthand for stand on what you say. Online chatter claims Sam was really challenging Rockstar to address Whack 100, who's made unflattering comments about Nipsey over the years.
The time they first fall out, when they first got Nipsey signed, Nipsey come back, was a fallout. They went down, there was a fight, rumble happened. I believe Big U knocked Nipsey out.
Rockstar later tried to downplay it with a just wanted a burger post, but the comments roasted him for associating with people who've spoken on Nip. The point wasn't a burger, it was principle. Sam used his own family's ribbon cutting to broadcast a message. Disrespect won't be tolerated. The Whack 100 friction predated that moment. In 2022, Sam reportedly blocked an unreleased Nipsey verse from appearing on the Game's album Drillmatic. Whack, who manages the Game, called Sam selfish, claiming the feature would have benefited Nip's kids. Sam's stance has been consistent. No posthumous verses unless Nipsey personally cleared the plan while alive. To some, that's gatekeeping. To those who know how easily a brand can be diluted, that's stewardship. The longer, uglier thread winds back to the early 2000s and Big U. Accounts vary, but one widely repeated story places Nipsey and Big U in a heated argument near the Shell at Crenshaw and Slauson. Another layer alleges a diss record sparked part of the fallout. The most explosive claim says Black Sam, fresh home, still under supervision, fired warning shots in the air with police nearby after seeing his little brother disrespected. Even people who doubt the specifics admit the takeaway. When pressure hit, Sam chose his brother over his freedom. That episode became emotional bedrock for the current standoff. It defined lines between families, business interests, and the politics of who could claim Nipsey on camera versus who protected him in private. Then came a gasoline splash. Whack 100 publicly asserted that Big U had called Black Sam a rat, citing what he framed as irregular leniency after that alleged gun incident. In hood culture, rat is a life-ruining label, even hinting it invites violence. Whack's larger point was procedural. How does a newly released felon fire shots and walk home without seeing a judge? To some, that sounds like cooperation. To others, it's speculation packaged as street gospel. What matters is the effect. Those 3 letters revive every old whisper and force Sam to either respond or absorb it. Snoop Dogg entering the conversation raises stakes and eyebrows. Snoop's ties to the Rollin' 20s are well documented, and Big U is long associated with the Rollin' 60s. While both are Crip sets, the politics between them can be complicated. After Nipsey's murder, a segment of fans expected Snoop to freeze anyone whom Sam viewed as compromised. Instead, Snoop maintained a cordial working relationship with Big U, praising him in interviews as a key LA figure. To grieving family and day ones, that looks like shaking hands with someone they suspect had a role in the ecosystem that endangered Nip. To others, it looks like an OG keeping multiple bridges intact in a city where collapsing one bridge can sink a neighborhood. Every time Big U speaks on this, he frames himself as a misread OG. someone who's always had a target on his back because of stature and history. He points to Nipsey shouting him out over the years, to mutual respect, to the way social media distorts facts. He also says the suspicion has cost him. That doesn't prove innocence or guilt. It proves the fog around him never cleared. Layer the legal rumors. Online narratives have accused Big U of operating a check-in system, an alleged pay-for-protection tax on entertainers moving through Los Angeles. Prosecutors in various filings and media reports over the years have described similar schemes tied to different players. In this swirl, some content creators claim federal eyes have hovered over Big U's circle. One now-deleted podcast clip, recounted by others, featured an associate alleging Big U knew about Nipsey's murder 30 minutes before it happened. These are explosive claims. They are also, so far, unproven in court and sharply contested. Still, in a city where gossip becomes doctrine overnight, they shape how the public reads every handshake, every post, every studio selfie. That's where Snoop's calculus gets scrutinized. Supporters say he's an elder balancing fragile peace between powerful personalities. Critics say peace without accountability is just silence. When Big U calls Snoop the most important artist in Los Angeles, that praise looks like clout validation to one side and a red flag to the other. If you believe the check-in allegations, cozy photos feel like complicity. If you don't, they're a veteran's attempt to keep rival elders from dragging a new generation into old blood. Meanwhile, Black Sam focuses on Marathon's expansion, protecting IP, and keeping Nipsey's name aligned only with projects Nip would have greenlit. That means turning down big checks. It means publicly challenging guys who speak on Nip the wrong way. It also means carrying the weight of what-ifs. Eric Holder, a Rollin' 60s member, was convicted of Nipsey's murder in 2022, but in Sam's world, the trigger man is rarely the top of the food chain. The streets teach that shooters are replaceable. Only shot callers determine when the violence stops. If Sam believes the why leads past Holder, he's not going to let the internet declare the story closed. All of this came to a head in August 2025 when a clip surfaced of a heated exchange involving Snoop and Sam. Whatever was said off camera is unknown. What the public saw was enough to confirm that private tension had gone public. At that point, the choice facing Sam wasn't theoretical anymore. One path is the code he grew up under. Get back, balance the ledger, and accept the consequences. The other is the code Nipsey preached. Build through the pain, refuse the cycle, and let the courts and community work out the rest. That last option isn't soft, it's harder. Retaliation is instant. Restraint is a lifetime. If Sam lights a fuse, he risks everything he and Nip built: stores, investments, jobs, the promise to kids from Slauson that ownership beats ops. If he doesn't, some old heads will call it weakness. That's the trap Nip spent his career trying to dismantle, proving a king can raise property values, not body counts, and still be respected. The cruel part is that both truths live in Sam at once. He's a businessman because he was a soldier first. He knows what happens when legends die without a message. People rewrite them to fit their agendas. He also knows what happens when leaders answer violence with violence. The city burns the candles, posts the murals, and starts counting down to the next repass. The only get-back that lasts is growth. It's also the only get-back that requires swallowing anger every day. So where does Snoop fit? If you believe he should have iced Big U, nothing he says will convince you otherwise. If you believe he's mediating, you'll point to decades of OG diplomacy and charity. Both can be true. You can try to cool a block and still miss the way your presence legitimizes someone others view as radioactive. That's the paradox of longevity in LA. The moves that keep you safe can make someone else feel unsafe. What about Big U? His public stance is that rumors will always stick to big targets, and history will clear his name. Maybe. Or maybe history belongs to whoever documents it best. That's why Black Sam keeps receipts, locks down trademarks, and clamps on unreleased verses. He's controlling narrative because narrative controls money, and money controls whether Marathon hires kids from Crenshaw or lays them off when the clout wave passes. What's left is a tangle of grief, pride, politics, and profit. No clean heroes or villains, just men with long memories trying to survive reputations they earned and reputations handed to them. The new viral clip doesn't solve anything. It only proves the conversation never ended. The city is still deciding whether Nipsey's legacy is a brand or a blueprint. If you're waiting for a neat ending, LA rarely gives those. It gives choices. Snoop can keep bridging worlds and be more intentional about what his cosigns imply. Big U can meet the questions head-on instead of dismissing them as noise. And Black Sam, maybe the heaviest load of all, can turn rage into results, scaling Marathon until it becomes the kind of institution that outlives rumor, outlives beef, and outlives all of us. However you read the players, one thing is certain. Nipsey's idea was bigger than a record, bigger than a set, bigger than a headline. The Marathon was always meant to be more than a logo. It was a way out. If the people who loved him most can keep choosing that way every day, then he didn't just die a legend, he lived a solution. Appreciate you tapping in. Drop your thoughts below. Keep it respectful. And if you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.